Wilson. I'm the solicitor for the Register of Wills here in Philadelphia. The solicitor is the attorney for the office.
We're going to watch a scene from Queen Sugar where Ralph finds a will.
Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this food we're about to receive and for the nourishment of our bodies. We remember Pop, a good man, honest man. Every time I looked at him, I could tell he wanted me to be a better man. And that's what I'm gonna do now. I ain't been telling y'all the truth.
So Raphael wants to tell everybody the truth around dinner, unprepared.
Finish saying grace.
Truth about what?
Daddy had a lockbox hid up in his closet. There was more to the will.
What's really so interesting to me is how we can see that they are family. And this is the kind of revelation that will tear families apart.
Grandpa did have a lockbox, and I keep telling you all that when you do make the will, put it in a lockbox locked.
Now, who did he give access to? That becomes the problem. So he gave access to the son that, for whatever reason, decided not to disclose the existence of a will.
Ralph Angel just happened to just be looking through stuff and haphazardly found it. That's not how you want people to find your will.
We have certain petitions in Philadelphia that you can file to make somebody disclose a will. And you cannot just open an estate after a certain amount of time. You find a will, depending upon how long it's been.
There was more to the will. He wrote it by hand.
More?
So in the state of Pennsylvania, you can write a will by hand. You can sign it. You don't have to have a witness. You don't have to have it notarized. But it risks the chance of being contested. The heirs could say, hey, that's not the signature. That's not, he didn't write this. They don't believe this is a valid will.
That will be challenged almost certainly. And you will have to provide information and evidence, including why you held on to it.
So we're talking about the state of Pennsylvania. So when Ralph Angel brings me that written will, he's going to have to prove it. It's definitely going to take a lot longer than a day. And then the ultimate decision is on me, the Register of Wills. And then that's not even the last decision, because you can actually appeal my decision to the Court of Common Pleas, to the Orphans Court.
The farm. You left it to me. Trust me. I mean, it's all in the letter. Y'all can read it for yourselves. He said it's because I needed it most.
I mean, but your dad could say, listen, you and your sisters are doing good. I want to leave the house to you because you don't have a house. That is your decision. You have every right to leave your hard-earned assets to who you want to leave it to. The point is, make the decision.
You know what's really interesting about the discovery of the will is that it's usually people who are not being favored in the will that hide the will. Rarely do you see someone who's going to receive the majority of the asset hide the will or just not present it for probate. Apparently, the young man wasn't ready yet to step into his father's shoes and he held it back. But don't think that you have all of the time in the world to sit on those wills and then present them when you're ready.
So you've been lying to us.
Micah, take Lou outside, please.
Well, if looks could kill, Nova looked like she was going to get up from that chair and actually hurt Ralph. And that's what happens when you hide things from family. It can really cause a deep and ongoing chasm.
But at least you want to be able to die and say, this was the best decision for me and my family, as opposed to dying and leaving other people to manage and make decisions over your wealth.
I, Ernest Bordelon, in sound mind and body, am revising my last will and testament.
Well, whether or not this will gets challenged depends entirely upon the family. They're certainly free to just go on and just accept the will as, as filed. But usually wills get challenged when they change something very key. Did you hear Ralph say he left the farm to me, only me? And that's the type of thing that might engender a challenge.
I've made the decision to pass this land of my mother and her father before her, and his father before him, to the child of mine who needs it and loves it most.
Pretty much, that's the way you leave a will. He named the asset, in this case, the farm. He named the heir, in this case, the brother Ralph Angel, exclusively, and he signed it. In the state of Pennsylvania, that can be a valid will. The siblings would then have to all agree that's their father's will and testament, and they would have to sign off that they agree. In real life, whether or not that's likely.
My hope for any family would be that they could resolve it within the family. But the likelihood is that that's not going to happen.
What we've seen in real life is if there's any question on the will, if that's not a self-proven affidavit, there is going to have to be an investigation. And then there's going to have to be a determination by me.
Whatever happened, whatever you've done in the past, never forget that you are better than you think. That you are smarter than you think. You are stronger than you think.
Particularly parents do that a lot. They feel that giving their children responsibility will make an irresponsible child responsible. And usually what it does is give assets to an irresponsible child. And we'd like to think differently, but the reality that I've experienced in private practice is you should leave things to your children as you know them to be now.
The best practice is have a will and a self-proven affidavit, which means it's signed by you two witnesses, it's signed by both of them, and it's notarized. That's the best will in the state of Pennsylvania.
Just to look at the comparison between that scene when they start off and everybody is praying, and I know they had difficulties before this, but they're trying to make family, and that this is the kind of thing that can just blow family up.
We're still looking at the news with Aretha Franklin and her estate, right? But the family is finding in different locations in the house written documents with she saying that this goes to this. Right now it's in litigation under a lot of hostility. But she had the money to be able to afford a mistake like that.
Prepare family as much as you can, because that's what keeps families together. So if you give Ralph the farm, maybe there's some other things that you can give to your other children, even if not equal in financial value, but to show them that they were also a part of your plan.
The will is, oh, I am going to die, and I want to make the sound decision as to how my estate closes. I'm naming this person as my executor, and I'm leaving these assets to whoever, and may I rest in peace, so you all can live in peace. I'm Tracy Gordan. I'm the Registrar of Wills here in Philadelphia, PA. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, hashtag PHLROW, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of The Registrar Reacts.